First and foremost, I want to give all praise to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Double honor to the elders' great millstone, and salutation to all Yakim and the highways and byways bidding to this marriage. I want to get talking about the riot that happened in Washington, D.C. You know, rioters breached U.S. Capitol security on Wednesday. This was the police response when it was black protesters on D.C. streets last year. Right? It already tells you that, Esau has that white privilege, He has the privilege to do whatever he wants, when he wants. They didn't even attack them, The police, I heard the police let them in to the U.S. Capitol, you know. As hundreds of supporters of President Donald Trump stormed the U.S. Capitol, breaking windows and wreaking havoc, politician activists were among the many who drew comparisons between the police response on Wednesday to that of last year's Black Lives Matter protest. The death of George Floyd, a black man who died after a Minneapolis police officer pressed his knee into Floyd's neck in May of 2020, prompted hundreds of protests nationwide over the summer in many cities, including the nation's capital. Police met protesters with tear gas, violence in the streets, violence and arrests. However, Wednesday, protesters may have pointed out were different. The Black Lives Matter global network, one of the most well-known organizations fighting for the well-being of black people, described Wednesday riots as a coup. The group said it was one more example of hypocrisy in our country's law enforcement response to protests. When black people protest for our lives, we are all too often met by National Guard troops or police equipped with assault rifles, shields, and tear gas, and battle helmets. The group said in a statement, "Make no mistake, if the protesters were black, we would have been tear gas, battered, and perhaps shot." Here they look at protests from the last year compared to those on Wednesday. So basically, this is what they're talking about. What happened last year? Because you got the National Guard out. Esau deployed National Guard when the Black Lives Matter or Jake in general were over there. They were protesting George Floyd on June 2nd, 2020. National Guard troops were deployed to the Lincoln Memorial on June 2nd, 2020. Protests held in Washington, D.C. over the death of George Floyd. So, now to skip down to January 6th, 2021, which was Wednesday, hundreds of Trump protesters on Wednesday stormed the Capitol and filled the steps of the building. In some images, officers could be seen deploying pepper spray. Tear gas was also deployed, but it's not clear whether by protester or police, and people wiped tears from their eyes while coughing. Before Trump made his remarks at the Rose Garden last June, police near the White House released tear gas and fired rubber bullets at protesters in an effort to disperse crowd for the president's planned visit to St. John's Episcopal Church. Earlier in the day, Trump had encouraged the nation's governors to more aggressively target protesters in their streets. After speaking, Trump walked past protesters to the church for a photo op. So basically, let me read that. After speaking, Trump walked past protesters to the church for a photo op. So he wanted to take pictures with them. Pro-Trump protesters pushed past metal fences and breached the U.S. Capitol building, walking throughout the complex for several hours. Trump had directed the National Guard to Washington along with other federal protective services. According to the White House press secretary, Kayleigh McEnany, the entire D.C. National Guard was activated by the Department of Defense, according to the Pentagon. So basically, Esau, like the scripture says, Psalm 73 and 5, they are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men. So they're not going to go to jail, they're not going to get killed, right? Why? Because they're Edomites, Esau's going to protect his own. You know, I'm gonna read some of these stories. Betsy DeVos resigns, citing unconscionable DC riot. Trump supporters leave DC dejected, paranoid, and with new theories about riots. Timber Unity responds to rumor there was at the rally and riot in DC. Calls grow for Trump removed after Capitol riot. Live update. U.S. Capitol police officer on life support dies after suffering stroke following riots, union chair says. Dejected Trump supporters leave Washington create new theories for Capitol violence. Doesn't charge so far in DC unrest from serious charges if possible. Basically, Donald Trump still don't get. He doesn't get charged. They're not charging him on anything. No, nothing because he's instigating. You know, he saw Donald Trump is instigating riots, inciting. You know, he got fired from his job. So you got all these Edomites, right? All these riots you see. You know, Esau knows his kingdom's out of here, right? You know, no, I can't name a time in a history that American history that Esau was storming his own um U.S. capital because back then Esau was content with what he had. He had Jacob's slaves, right? He had control over everything. Now Esau sees his kingdom is crumbling, it's falling apart. Now he wants to take up arms because Esau knows this country's finished. They know this country's in debt. Let's see Americans' debt. I know America's debt. So since 2008, America's national debt has surged nearly 200%, reaching 27 trillion as October 2020. To gain a better understanding of this ever-growing debt, this infographic takes a closer look at various U.S. Burgatory data sets, including 2019 fiscal balance. So basically this country's in $1 trillion of debt. And it's just gonna get worse. You know, this country, the people are losing jobs because of the coronavirus. People gotta wear a mask. They're forced to wear a mask, and if you don't take the vaccine, you're not gonna be able to go. So Esau, these Edomites are not used to being under subjection, so they're gonna bug out just like they did in DC. You know, But I wouldn't be surprised if they fought against the military. When the day comes when they're forced to take the vaccine, they don't want to. But Esau's gonna come and start killing them. He's gonna start killing everybody. You know. But this goes into Luke 11:18. If Satan also be divided against himself, how shall his kingdom stand? How could he stand if he's fighting? We got Esau fighting Esau. He's peeing versus the elites and the, not the exact elite, but you know what I mean, right? These politicians, because you say that I cast out. How shall his kingdom stand? How could his kingdom stand? They're fighting against each other, right? They can't, and they're gonna fall apart. You get Revelation 12:12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them, all to inhabit of the earth and of the sea. For the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he has but a short time. So, that's Esau. He's coming down having great wrath, you know, because he has but a short time. You know, you got Esau fighting Esau, right? You know, talking about he has a short time to rule. So he's gonna come to having great wrath. You know, you got Esau bugging out, attacking other Edom. And you got I heard got Edomites killing Jake. I mean not killing Jake, but they attacked this Israelite woman. Oh, let me see it. Can't find it. Um. Alright, I can't find Shalaki on that. But now what I was gonna get into is that Esau, these Edomites were attacking this Jake woman because she gave them the finger, and that's what she did wasn't wise. I think you could look it up. I'll try to see it. You know, but you know I'm trying to find it after this video where I can read that article. But it happened on Wednesday, right? The time she was walking, she was about to go home. She was by herself, and these Edomites said, "Did you vote for Trump?" She said no and gave him the finger, and then they attacked her and started pushing her around in a circle. So like but the scriptures tell us to agree with your adversary quickly, you know. So be smart about it, you know. But you know these women, you know, because think they can say whatever they want without any consequences, like, you know. And this, I remember I was watching a video. The guy in the comment board said, "Why was she by herself anyway?" So why was Eve by herself? So you got all these kidnappings happening. These women, you know, just doing whatever they want with no guidance. You know, not being smart about the decisions they make. Like all she needed to do was say that she was a Donald Trump supporter. Yep, I voted for him. Yeah, you know, and then that would have happened probably. You know, they was holding her. I think they were hitting her. They were macing her eyes and stuff. You know, this kingdom's out of here. You know, Esau's panicking. Esau's mad because it's over for him. You know, I want to get Romans 13:11. That knowing the time that now it is the high time to wake out of sleep. You know, it's time to wake out of sleep. You know. Esau kingdom is finished, you know. For now is our salvation nearer than we believe. You see all these chariots, you know. So right, you know, we got all these chariots in the sky, you know, showing that it's getting closer and closer to Israel's salvation, you know. Um, wait, no. Watch it. Hawaii. Yeah, this is the one. Look at this. I think it was in broad daylight too. I think it was in. Okay, you were doing the U.S. UFO sped up by at about 8:30 p.m. Basically, it's kind of like night. But, so these chairs are getting more noticeable every day. You know, the angels of the Lord, you know, they're coming. You know, the Lord is coming back. You know, and Esau, you're gonna pay for all the wickedness you done to Israel. First and foremost, the animals, the trees, the other nations, everything. You know, everything you ever done to anybody and everything that existed right on Earth. You know, you're gonna pay for it. You know, worse than when we paid for it. You know, we basically, you know, how we got into slavery. We worshipped idols, right? Broke the laws and statute commandments. You know, and we got to go into slavery. You know, transatlantic slave trade. You know, reservations, the so-called Native. So all of us suffered as a whole. But Esau is gonna suffer way more than when we suffered because Esau not only broke the commandments, right? Esau just he tampered with genetics, with DNA. Israel never went that deep until being wicked. We never went that far. So Esau's got to pay for that too. Cloning stuff. Like you're not the most. If the Lord wanted you to do that, He'll give you the power to do it. You wouldn't need machines for anything. You know. But I'm gonna get this video before I finish it. I'll get one more scripture after this. You know. Alright, there's no point in playing it to 2 minutes. But like UFOs, these cherries look all different. Some could look blue or red or whatever. It could change trapezoids to triangles to even a circular disc. As you see in some videos. Alright, you got some right here. Look at this. Sometimes Esau is getting, yeah, but some of these are CGI, computer made. But yeah, some of these are real though. So Esau knows the Lord's coming back. Get one more scripture. And this shows every day. Second Ezra 6:9. Esau's the end of the world. You can see it. They try to say Ishmael's the Arabics are Esau. How is the Arabics Esau, right? How are the Arabics Esau? They're not messing with DNA. They're not poisoning your water. They're not poisoning the air. They're not always at war. Like America, like Israel, like Britain. You know. They're not This just they just can't. Arabics, come on, man. Really? They really, whoever said that, whoever made that up, man, who came up with that, loves Esau. I'm sorry, but you gotta be a coon to say that for Esau. Esau's Arabics. Come on, man. How? So you're saying that he had a perpetual hatred towards us, you're saying, because the scriptures tell us thou has a perpetual hatred towards thy brother Jacob. And I don't see Arabics hating as much as the so-called white. I can't see it. I'm sorry, but every time you get on the internet, all you see is nigger. Esau, give Esau a laptop or any type of technology to search the web. His first thing they're gonna just be racist. You know, be racist. Make some stereotype. That's the first thing he does. He acts all tough over the internet. Give him a laptop, PlayStation, whatever, right? He's gonna be the most racist person you could ever meet. Towards Jake. That's hatred right there. Like, hey, Arabics don't even do that. You know. And Jacob is, like that's old. They don't poison their food. You know. You know. I'm gonna go down. Jacob's the beginning of it. I followeth. So we're at the beginning. Jake, we're probably the most generous nation out of all the other nations. You know, we give our last to one another. But over time, Esau has corrupted us. You got Jake out there being, you know, assholes, you could say, or just greedy. This is always about money. But at the same time, it's a mixed feeling thing because you pitied him because Jake never had anything, right? Jake never had much, so it's understandable on why they're so obsessed to a certain, yeah, to a certain degree though, because money is not everything. Jake be doing a lot of stuff in Hollywood for money. It's not, and now that stuff, what you're doing, worshiping a cult, being a cult, drinking blood or whatever they do in Hollywood. Now you're overdoing it. Money is not that important, you know. Now you're selling yourself out. You know, money matters to a certain degree. But you can't give up your morals just for the sake of money. You're not taking it with you when you die because you're not gonna need it. You know, so you all doing that in vain. The scriptures tell us that the world passes away. Well, let me get that. First John 2:17, and the world passes away, and the lust thereof, but he that doeth the will of Yahweh abideth forever. So the world passes away, and the lust thereof. So when you die, you don't have that you don't have that lust for what you had when you were alive, because the spiritual body is different from the physical. But he that doeth the will of Yahweh abideth forever. So if you do the will of the Most High, it abides forever. That's always gonna be remembered. You know, you know. But Esau, Esau's about to gear up to go to war. Esau's gonna start attacking Jake more and more often. Esau's riled up because Donald Trump lost the election. So Esau's gonna be attacking Jake more and more. And these women out here gonna have to seek protection. You know, you got women still getting kidnapped daily, and they still going out partying and by themselves and going out because they think they don't need no man. And that was a trick by the so-called white man Esau, right? So he can take advantage of these women. You know, sex trafficking, drug trafficking, human trafficking, or whatever they do with them. Epstein Island, grabbing children up, women. So you got to be watchful. You know, women are gonna need men in that time. You know, or the women that you just pray to the Lord. The Lord be with you. Let them be more hectic. We all gotta. I speak for all of us. We all gotta pray more. You know, we all gotta do more because the Lord is coming back, and the times it's getting worse and worse day by day. So that's it on that. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the elder great millstone. Salutations to all y'all coming to hives and byways. Till next time, I say shalom.